In fact, while I have the opportunity here, before the races properly start, I'd like to get one thing out of the way that actually led to some significant difficulty a few streams ago, which is reading in French, a French news article that I saw this morning, that apparently other people knew about the thing that they were reporting on, but I did not. So, if you've seen any of the national headlines over the past 6 months, you may remember that the PM of Japan, Shinzo Abe, was assassinated, right? So we have here, Japon, après l'assassinat de Shinzo Abe, ouverture d'une enquête sur la secte Moon. So Japan, after the assassination of Shinzo Abe, the opening of an investigation or an inquiry, yeah, French gaming, an inquiry into what this directly translates to is the Moon sect, but what it really is the Moonies cult, which is very, very weird. I didn't know this. Apparently, so if I go down here, let's see, so it talks about the assassination a little bit. Combien de plus le Parti libéral-démocrate japonais a-t-il déjà laissé depuis le 8 juillet, date de l'assassinat d'un ancien premier ministre, blablabla, et la révélation des liens de la formation politique avec la secte Moon. So, the Liberal Democratic Party in Japan, it's not just Shinzo Abe, his party has connections to the Moonies cult, to such an extent that, let me see if I can find it here. En septembre, une enquête interne au PLD révélait que 179 de ces 379 parlementaires étaient en rapport avec la secte. So, to translate, in September, which means September of the previous year, an internal inquiry in the Liberal Democratic Party revealed that 179 of its 379 members of parliament were in rapport with, I think, it'd be more accurate to say, like, were members of or had connections to the Moonies cult. Hello. Editing Y2K here again. So in the video, I bring up the Moonies cult, but I don't go a whole lot into what they actually believe. So I have the wiki article open on my other monitor that you guys can't see, and I did a quick read through. Some of their beliefs include that the founder, what's his name, Reverend Dr. Sun Myung Moon, believed that he was, or at least preached that he was the second coming of Christ. So typical cult behavior. They also did mass weddings, which they called blessings, which are a type of arranged marriage. And people started arranging marriages for their own children. That's kind of a big problem as well. They preach pretty boilerplate conservative values as well, sort of a weird mix between Confucianism and Christianity. And additionally, a 1977 investigation from the United States Congress found that they were a PSYOP by the Korean Central Intelligence Agency to gain international influence, particularly in the United States Congress. And it seems that while they weren't terribly successful in that venture, they were successful in gaining influence in the Japanese legislature. But their organization was so controversial from the HTPs, meaning harmful traditional practices, that they engaged in, that the Japanese government had to rename it to, let's see if I can't find it here, Heavenly Parents Holy Community Family Federation for World Peace and Unification. Or at least they applied to change their name. But once they got people inside the Japanese government, they approved that request. So now that's what they're known as in Japan. But yeah, very sussy behavior, very culty. So back to the video. Oh yeah, additionally, there is one thing I forgot to mention. Among their quote-unquote boilerplate conservative values that they preach is typical holy roller stuff. They preach, let's see here, they preach indemnity, which is the opposite of forgiveness. So the typical sort of God hates you and you're a sinner and you need to ask for forgiveness and all that. But yeah, now back to the video for real. which was like kind of a bizarre slap across the face to me this morning. Apparently, other people knew this, but I didn't. You know, I knew the GOP in the United States has ties to quite a few religious extremists, but I didn't know that the same applied to the Japanese Conservative Party. And in case there is any confusion, the Conservative Party in Japan is called the Liberal Democratic Party. It's a little bit weird. You know, I would make some comparison to the United States here, but you know, I think I would say that, like, you know, imagine if the United States, one of the parties had like explicit and like deep running connections to a cult, but that's already the case with the Republican Party. It's what we in the business what we would call fatherless behavior.